第20节，牛顿第一运动定律。
Meng Meng, are you going to eat?
不是的，克里斯博士。当我把这些筷子放在一起搓的时候，它们就变热了。这是为什么呢？
That's the friction. Do you remember?
摩擦力，摩擦力不是我走路时脚底与地面摩擦时候的力吗？摩擦力怎么能产生热呢？
Friction is the opposing force to motion. Look, when we rub these chopsticks together, the motion across their surfaces creates friction. Friction is a force that can turn energy to heat.
你的意思是，摩擦力也是一座力量桥，让我的动能武士转换成了热能武士，所以才有了热吗？
That is correct. We use food energy to activate our muscles to move the chopsticks. Where's all that energy going?
热，我明白了。你的意思是，我体内的能量武士穿过摩擦力的桥，最后变成了热能武士了。这就是这些筷子变热的原因。
That's right, Meng Meng. And if we use enough strength, we can move the chopsticks fast enough to even start a fire. And that's how primitive people started fires.
哇，钻木取火！妈妈和我说过这个故事，物理知识真是太有意思了。从太阳到食物，从食物到我的肌肉，再从我的肌肉到筷子，再到热，能量武士们还真是了不得呢。
That's right. And they cross many force bridges along the way.
克里斯博士，我忽然发现摩擦力没那么讨厌了，摩擦力的力量桥挺重要的，是不是呀？
You are correct. Although friction may trick us into forgetting the existence of Newton's first law of motion, it is very important in our daily lives. We'll talk about this more in the future.
好的。对了，牛顿第一定律是什么呀？
Oh, you forgot. Newton's first law is the law of motion.
我想起来了，克里斯博士，牛顿说了，运动着的事物总想着一直运动，不会减慢或停下来。
That's right. I think we are now ready for the complete statement that Newton said. Here we go. Newton's first law of motion. An object will remain at rest or in constant motion unless acted upon by an external net force.
好的，这听起来有点复杂，我更喜欢我的那个说法。
You're a funny koala. Don't worry if it sounds a bit complicated. That's why I'm here, to help you. Today, Dr. Chris is going to help explain the correct statement of Newton's first law. Hi, children. Did you just hear Newton's first law of motion? Let's repeat it. Newton's first law of motion. An object will remain at rest or in constant motion unless acted upon by an external net force.
牛顿第一定律说的是
An object will remain at rest or in constant motion
一个物体会保持静止或者持续匀速直线运动的状态
unless acted upon by an external net force.
直到外部的合力迫使它改变运动状态为止。好难理解呀。
Kids, sounds like Meng Meng is finding it a bit complicated. What's bothering you, Meng Meng?
这句子太长了， 还有很多听不懂的词儿。克里斯博士，我还这么想。
Oh, I see. Let's break it down piece by piece. First, an object will remain at rest. Do you understand what that means?
是不是说一个东西静止不动？就比如一个足球待在地上静止不动。
That's right. It means an object, like the ball, will remain still. Now the next part. Or in constant motion. What do you think that means?
这个简单，克里斯博士，它的意思就是运动，任何运动着的事物。
You're about half right, Meng Meng. Constant motion does mean moving, but the word constant means same. That is to say, constant motion is motion that doesn't change.
持续的匀速运动是没有变化的运动。
Yes. Let me give you an example. An airplane that is cruising in the sky is in constant motion, but an airplane that is taking off or landing is not in constant motion, even though it is moving. Do you understand?
我觉得我懂了，所以火车在跑的时候也是一种持续不断的匀速运动。
Yes.
那如果我扔一个球，它没有以直线形式运动，而是朝着地面落下去了，所以这个球就不是处于持续不断的匀速运动了。
Correct. Now the last part. Unless acted upon by an external net force.
哎呀，太难了，克里斯博士。但那个外是什么意思呀？
External. It means outside. An object will not change its motion unless a force comes from outside its own body.
不对吧，克里斯博士？飞机起飞，火车跑，不都是自己在运动吗？难道是有人在推吗？
Good question, Meng Meng. Planes and trains have engines that allow them to create external forces to change their motion. There are lots of other forces affecting them as well, such as the air resistance and the friction on the tracks. I think a good place to test these ideas is in outer space.
克里斯博士，我能跟你一起去吗？
Of course! Let's go! Remember, Mama, out here there is no air and therefore no air resistance. If we started to float away, there's nothing we could do to stop ourselves. We can wave our arms and kick our feet, but our motion won't change. We need something from outside of us.
我明白了，克里斯博士。不过我们还是回到有摩擦力的地球去吧。
Good plan, Mama. Let's go. So now we understand all the pieces that make Newton's first law.
是的，一个物体会以直线形式运动，或者静止不动，直到有某个从外部来的力推动它。
Or pulls.
哈哈，对，或者是拉。
Well, Meng Meng, you got it.
是的，现在我已经拥有控制物理的力量了。
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down, Meng Meng. That was only Newton's first law. Remember, Newton had 3 laws of motion.
啊，有3个呢。
Calm down, calm down. You know, it gets more interesting the further we go.
快，克里斯博士，快告诉我们吧。
I will, Meng Meng. But remember how we came to understand Newton's first law through careful observation and understanding.
看来我需要练习一下我的耐心了。不过，我们能不能也放轻松一下呢？
Of course. Let's play.
亲子游戏。
Hi, everyone. You've done a great job in understanding Newton's first law of motion. Next time, we're going to get started on Newton's second law of motion. I can tell you it is about changing motion. Now, to get started, we're going to play the famous game of Galileo. Galileo was one of the first physicists, and he performed a famous experiment in Italy over 500 years ago. Galileo took 2 balls, a heavy ball and a light ball, and he climbed to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And he dropped the balls at the same time. What do you think happened? Did the heavy ball hit the ground first, or did the light ball hit the ground first? You can try this experiment at home with mom or dad. You'll need 2 balls, a big ball like a soccer ball or a basketball, and a small ball like a ping pong ball or maybe a baseball. I want you to hold them very still at the same height. They're still because there's no net force on the balls. Now, drop the balls at the same time, and we'll discuss what happened next time.